Places, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the lovely Miss Fanny Brice.
Father has a business strictly secondhand. Everything from toothpicks to a baby grand. Stuff in our apartment came from Father's store. Even things I'm wearing, someone wore before. It's no wonder that I feel abused. I never get a thing that ain't been used. I'm wearing second-hand hats, second-hand clothes. That's why they call me Second-Hand Rose. Even a piano in the parlor, Father bought for 10 cents on the dollar. Second-hand pearls, I'm wearing second-hand curls. I never get a single thing that's new. Even Jake the plumber, he's the man I adore, had the nerve to tell me he's been married before. Everyone knows that I'm just Second-Hand Rose from Second Avenue. Second-Hand Rose, yep, that's me. Everything early on in my life came to me secondhand. Clothes, music, men. Listen, I'll let you in on a little secret. I wasn't born out of the womb like this, or like this. Ooh. Oh, thank you very much. One of my favorite dresses given to me by none other than Flo Ziegfeld himself. I think it was his wife's. Secondhand story of my life. It's no wonder that I feel abused. I never get a thing that ain't been used. I'm wearing second-hand shoes, second-hand hose. All the girls hand me their second-hand bows. Even my pajamas when I grown up had somebody else's initials on them. Second-hand rings, I'm sick of second-hand things. I never get what other girlies do. Once while strolling through the Ritz, a girl got my goat. She nudged her friend and said, "Oh, look, that's my old fur coat." Everyone knows that I'm just Second-Hand Rose from Second Avenue. From Second Avenue. No? Thank you. Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a blossom tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Don't you love that song? Yeah, it's those lyrics. Yeah. I mean, come on. Paper moons, cardboard skies, make-believe. That was my life in the theater. And a good life at that, truly. Flo saw to it that I had the best paper moons money could buy. Did you know my third husband wrote that song? Yeah, don't clean out your ears. You heard that right. Third. See, first, there was Frank Wright. He was a barber. Oh, I was young and naive. Everybody said I should marry him. He was a schmuck. It lasted 3 days. Then there was Nick Ornstein, of course. Don't worry your pretty little head. We will get to him later. And then there was Billy Rose. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It seems like just yesterday that Flo hired me. Oh, for those that knew him, it was Flo. But that's Mr. Ziegfeld to you. Florenz Ziegfeld. 2 of the 4 most beautiful words in the English language. Florenz Ziegfeld. Oh. That day he hired me, I stood out in front of the theater, shouting to the world that I had been hired by Mr. Ziegfeld himself. People thought I was crazy. Who said I wasn't? But then again, who knew that this little girl from Brooklyn could make it this far? I had to make sure the world believed me. Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. What? It's not good enough for you? I can do better. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Oh, thank you. And that is how I got my first job in the Follies. No, not the song. The holding the note. Lungs of steel. No, seriously. Here is me, 16 years old. I had marched right into the office of the rooftop show of the Ziegfeld Follies. And I told the guy that I wanted to sing for the Midnight Frolics. I says, I'll give you $5 if you let me hold the note long enough for Cohen and Harris to hear it. Well, money talks. And guess who hears me singing? George M. Cohan himself. He walks right in and asks if I could dance. Yeah, sure. Who can't dance? Cohan hires me on the spot. He takes me into the theater. He has all his chorus girls lined up, hoofing to all his songs. Now, let me say, by hoofing, I mean tapping, wasn't exactly my forte. Truthfully, I didn't know my right from my left, but come on! What's a little white lie about being able to dance when it gets you cast in the Midnight Frolics? I didn't even last the hour. Cohan saw me shaking my little tuchus, fired me on the spot. Well, that certainly taught me 2 big lessons of show business. Lesson 1, say yes to everything they ask you. Well, almost everything. Lesson 2, learn how to dance. Hit it, Sam. Give my regards to old Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Take that, Cohan. I was thinking back on all the people that brought me to this very moment. Folks I couldn't have gotten here without. Like the chorus girls who taught me how to tap. Now, tap dancing lessons in those days, oh, they didn't come cheap. So I got wise. My mother, she was a stitcher in a factory, and she made all of my undergarments. Oh, she was pretty handy with a needle. And my undergarments were the prettiest around. All the girls in the chorus said so. So I traded my pretty undergarments for tap dancing lessons. Well, it wasn't the only time sewing would be part of my life, but more on that later. And then there was Irv. Nice, from the neighborhood. He was writing music for the silent picture shows. Perhaps you heard of him. Irv? Oh, come on, you know Irv. Irving Berlin, that's right. Wait, are you from the neighborhood? Oh, I thought you looked familiar. Irv was the one who introduced me to my Yiddish roots. You see, I had gone to another audition. Listen, I know what you're thinking, but trust me, I had it all worked out. I walk into the audition, and the guy says, "Girlie, you got a specialty song?" Yeah, sure. Who doesn't have a specialty song? Guy hires me on the spot. He says, "Girlie, you start tomorrow." Well, I may not have gotten past the 8th grade, but I was certainly no dummy. And I wasn't going to make the same mistake twice. I had exactly 24 hours to find myself a specialty song. So, I went to my friend Irv. Irv says, "Fanny, you need to own what you got." Well, I knew that. That was obvious. I says, "Irv, I do own what I got. I'm wearing them right now." He says, "No, Fanny, schmaltz, chutzpah. You need a specialty song that's different from all the other girls." Oh, that makes sense. But I do have one question. What the hell is a specialty song? Aye, Fanny, it is a song with finesse, something with a funny line or two, something with character. That I had plenty of. I just didn't know it at the time. Fanny, if you want to knock 'em dead, make 'em laugh, Fanny. Make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh, Fanny. Make 'em laugh. All those dramatics and apparatics, they may be all the rage, but now you're on the stage. So please, Fanny, make 'em laugh. Make 'em laugh till you double 'em in half. Even if you have to throw throw a pie in somebody's face, or do a lot of funny falls all over the place. Everybody in the town knows in your heart you're just a clown. So make 'em laugh, Fanny. Make 'em laugh. Irv hands me a song right up my alley. What the heck? Cohen had fired me. I had nowhere to go but up. Sadie Cohn left her happy home to become an actress lady. On the stage, she soon became the rage as the only real Salome baby. When she came to town, her sweetheart Mose brought for her around a pretty rose. But he got an awful fright when his Sadie came in sight. He stood up and yelled with all his might, "Don't do that dance, I tell ya, Sadie! That's not a business for a lady. Most everybody knows that I'm your lovin' Mose. Where are your clothes? You better go and get your dresses. Everyone's got the opera glasses. Such a sad disgrace. No one looks in your face. Sadie Salome, go home." Me sing Sadie and hired me back in the Follies. I think I found some character. Look at me, I'm what you call an Indian. That's something that I never was before. But one day I met Big Chief Chickamauga, yeah. And right away he grabbed me for a squaw. He wrapped me up in blankets, put feathers in my head. Between the blankets and the feathers, I feel just like a bed. Now, oi, my people, how can I tell them how? Their little Rosie Rosenstein is a terrible Indian now. Look at me, oh look at me, woo, woo. I'm an Indian, I'm an Indian. Down at the feet are the moccasins for the shoes. Up in the back is a little fat papoose. Up in the head are the feathers from a goose. It's a goose, but I'm an Indian. I pal around with hunting bear, laughing foot and standing hair. Such people I never saw before. They do a war dance all around while I take a skip around the ground. I'm a terrible squaw. Specialty songs became my specialty. You remember Nathan, who treated me so rotten? What did I get for waiting? I got nothing. I feel so bad, but he don't care. I'm a rag and a bone and a hunk of hair. My folks all laugh because they said a fool I was when I asked Nathan when we're going to wed. He tells me he can't think that far ahead. How I hate that fella Nathan. How he used to keep me waiting. When I first went with him, he had such vigor and such vim. But now my sitting on his lap don't mean nothing to him. I'll sue him for the breach of promise. But I don't remember what he promised to do. For my engagement, he gave me a stone that I should wear. He said it's not a diamond, but you know the thought is there. How I hate that fella Nathan, and I'm going to raise my kids to hate him too. My my career took off, and it was all thanks to Irv. Make 'em laugh, Fanny, make 'em laugh. Ow! My name was top billing. Fanny Brice stars in the Ziegfeld Follies. I even had my own dressing room. I was a Floridor baby with a chance to pick and choose. I had to marry up with A.B., a fella with a lot of booze. A girl's a fool to fool with millionaires, said he. I should be his turtle dove. Now at home, I'm bringing up a sextet. 5 I've got, the other ones I'll get yet. 5 darn fools got married for money, and I got married for love. That describes it. All my friends just liked, but I loved. And I fell for Nick Ornstein instantly. The other 2 of the 4 most beautiful words in the English language? Nick Ornstein. Oh. I was touring in the Follies, and we were in Chicago. And there he was in the audience, sort of sweet-like, standing there in awe. Only man to give me an encore. He invited me back to his flat. Ooh. And I certainly wasn't going to turn down a man who stood up for my talents. And geez, his flat is beyond gorgeous. Made of gold. In his bathroom, 7 toothbrushes, 1 for every day of the week. Robes and towels monogrammed with his initials. I fell in love with him instantly. In that bathroom. Mountains snap their fingers at time since this old world began. But they're just hills compared to the mountain she'll climb when a gal cares for a man. Rivers have been flowing for years, part of the mighty plan. But they're ripples compared to the river of tears when a gal weeps for a man. Beggar or millionaire, rocket or on the square, mansion or furnished room, she doesn't care when a woman loves a man. Sharing each pain and ill, both going through the mill. Just being miserable gives her a thrill when a woman loves a man. He may be conceited, a weakling who cheated, but still one woman in town. Can't help but feel that someday he'll settle down. Pile up your 7 seas, mountains and rocks and trees. They're up against a thing stronger than these when a woman loves a man. Oh, love each all that ever loving man from way down home in Birmingham. He can do some loving and some loving show. And when he goes to love me, I just holler mo. He's master of them ever loving arts. Where all your lovers quit, that's where he starts. And when I hear that way, wedding march so grand. I just get myself a wedding band, take it to a preacher man, make the preacher understand he must join me hand in hand to lovey-joe, that ever, ever loving man. That song, Lovey-Joe, was my starring debut in the Follies. And with it, I had stopped the show as cold as any show had been stopped before or since. The audience wanted an encore. So I gave it to them. That song, 12 times, to Lovey-Joe, that ever, ever loving man. Now, you remember how I told you how I stood out in front of the theater, shouting to the world that I had been hired by Mr. Ziegfeld himself? Well, at that time, my contract said I was earning $75 a week. After I sang Lovey-Joe, Flo tore that contract up, gave me one befitting a star, $200 a week. Here you go, a little memento from me to you. Oh, take it home to your loved ones. I am sure that they'll love it. It changed my life. The money? From that point on, I never wanted for nothing. And no one around me wanted for nothing. And that's exactly the way I wanted it. And the way it should be. Oh! And guess who was opening for me this time? George M. Cohan! Well, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. A pretty girl is like a melody that haunts you night and day, just like the strain of a haunting refrain. She'll start upon a marathon and run around your brain. You can't escape. She's in your memory by morning, night, and noon. She will leave you and then come back again. A pretty girl is just like a pretty tune. I would stand in the wings. The overture would start, the curtain would rise, and I would hear that song. And I would look out into the audience, and there would be Nick, sitting right out in front. He came every night. I loved it. And when it was my turn, I would strut out to center stage. The music would start. And I would sing directly to him. Mornings, I'll be getting up. Mornings, I'll be setting up a tiny table for two. Breakfast, I'll be cooking his breakfast. He'll be taking his shave and his shower. My happy hour. coffee is steaming. Oh boy, how I'm dreaming while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. My baby likes bacon, so that's what I'm making while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. Our lives have been so nice and chummy right from the start. When I won his tummy, I won his heart. My baby is happy, no wonder I'm happy while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. Nick and I were together for 7 years of unmarried life. 7 years is a long time. Am I right? Well, it took him that long to divorce his other wife. Oh, I know. I should have taken that as a sign of what was to come. But Nick was so charming. His voice melted me. Did I mention that bathroom? Listen, I might be strong-willed, but I am certainly not that strong. Nick was my world. When I finally married him, in that 8th year, I could wake up next to him every morning. That was everything I'd ever wanted. And those 7 toothbrushes were an added bonus. I'm baking a biscuit. He's willing to risk it while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. He's washing the dishes and breaking the dishes while I'm cooking breakfast for the one I love. I serve a plate of steaming oatmeal. Taste it, but shucks, who the heck wants oatmeal sprinkled with Lux? To show that he's grateful, he eats a big plateful, faints right after breakfast for the one he loves. Love certainly does funny things to people, am I right? I guess you consider me a prime example. Nick, he bought me a house. He paid $14,000 for it. I spent $25,000 remodeling it. Nick, he wanted to start a new venture, managing horses. And he wanted to build stables. But he says, we have to build it good, because if we couldn't build it good, we shouldn't have it at all. Stables lined with mahogany. Well, I built it. But there was never a horse or a cow in it. Not even horse shit. Nick's sayings, and there were many. Here are a few examples. You have to start big and you'll finish big. You have to dress like you have it all. Next year I'll have $1 million. Aye, and boy, did he ever. More on that later. Honestly, I loved that Nick was a dreamer. Oh, and boy, did he dream big. And I wanted for nothing. So I got to help him dream. Whether you are here or yonder, whether you are false or true, whether you remain or wander, I'm growing fonder of you. Even though your friends desert you, even though you won't succeed, wouldn't I be glad to take you give you the break you need. More than you know, more than you know, man of my heart, I love you so. Lately I find you're on my mind more than know. Whether you're right, whether you're wrong, man of my heart, all string along. You need me so, more than you'll ever know. Loving you the way that I do, there's nothing I can do about it. Loving may be all you can say, but honey, I can't live without it. Oh, how I'd cry, oh, how I'd cry if you got tired and said goodbye. More than I'd show, more than you'd ever know. I'm sure you must have heard the news or read about it in the paper somewhere. Nick was convicted of the biggest heist in Wall Street history. Millions of dollars worth of Wall Street bonds. Well, Nick always said, next year I'll have $1 million. I probably should have asked him to be more specific. They put him on trial, and they put me on the stand to testify. I knew nothing. After they put Nick away, he calls me. He says, Fanny, sing, sing. I says, Nick, I am not serenading you over the phone. I'll look like an idiot. I can see the headlines now. Fanny sings to her husband his last swan song. He says, no, Fanny, sing, sing. The train leaves in an hour. Here am I, there you'll be, miles and miles apart from me. I can't see the good in goodbye. Still, best of friends have to part. Don't lose sleep and don't lose heart. You know me, so baby, don't cry. I'd rather be blue thinking of you. I'd rather be blue over you than be happy with somebody else. How lonely the days are, nights are, until we meet without your caresses. My happiness is so incomplete. Fanny visits Nick every week and sing, sing. I need a little love, little kiss, little hug, and it's you that I crave. Honey, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. It's so hard to behave. Conductor leaves seat open on train from his Fanny Brice. I'd rather be blue thinking of you. I'd rather be blue over you than be happy with somebody else. Will I be good? Will I be bad? Don't be a fool, you fool. My little flat, I'm turning that into a Sunday school. While you're away, I'm here to say there'll be no Iceman there. Singing the blues, I'm gonna use nothing but Frigidaire. I'd rather be blue thinking of you. I'd rather be blue over you than be happy with somebody else. I'm crazy about ya, without ya. For you, I'm strong. I can't live without ya. Out ya, McGoucha, don't stay too long. I need a little ooh, little ah, little oh, and I'm knocking on wood. Honey, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. It's so hard to be good. Nick, is finally released from prison, I'd rather be blue thinking of you. I'd rather be blue over you than be happy with somebody else. Well, things didn't get any better for our relationship after Nick got out of prison. I eventually divorced him. Yeah, can you believe it? After I found out from a detective I had hired that he was cheating on me with an older woman. Not even young. Not even pretty. But what did she have that I don't have? Oh, you guessed it, even more money. I thought in divorcing him, I was giving him the chance to come back, to prove that all his words he had professed of his love for me before, during, and after prison weren't in vain, that he wanted to stay and be with the 2 children we had had together. But Nick didn't come back. He just left. I'll go my way by myself. This is the end of romance. I'll go my way by myself. Love is only a dance. I'll try to apply myself and teach my heart how to sing. I'll go my way by myself like a bird on a wing. I'll face the unknown. I'll build a world of my own. No one knows better than I myself. I'm by myself, alone. Strolling down the avenue, me and my shadow, not a soul to tell our troubles to. And when it's 12 o'clock, we climb the stairs. We never knock, 'cause nobody's there. Just me and my shadow by myself. Oh, how I'd cry, oh, how I'd cry if you got tired and said goodbye. More than I'd show, more than you'd ever know. I made a movie about us, me and Nick, in 1928, titled it My Man. Perhaps you saw it. Yeah? Maybe? Oh, wasn't that you? Oh, you would have known. You would have been the only one in the theater. Not too many people saw it. It's too bad. It was a good one. 20th Century Fox had the nerve to make a copycat film a few years later. They called it Rose of Washington Square. Said it mirrored my life. They even used my hit song. 20th Century Fox and I became close, shall we say, to the tune of $40,000. Oh, well, you know what they say. If you can't beat them, sue them. Rose of Washington Square, a flower so fair, should blossom where the sun shines. Rose, for nature did not mean that I should blush unseen, but be the queen of some fair garden rose. I've plenty of those with second-hand clothes and nice long hair. I've got those Broadway vampires lashed to the mast. I've got no future, but oh, what a past. I'm Rose of Washington Square. I'm Rosie, the queen of the models. I used to live up in the Bronx, but I wandered from there down to Washington Square in bohemian honky-tonks. That's where I met Harrison Fisher. Said he, "You're like roses, the stems. I want you to pose for a picture on the cover of Tim Tim's." And that's how I first got my start. Now my life is devoted to art. They call me Rose of Washington Square. I'm hither and there, in basement air, I'm fading. Pose in plain or fancy clothes. They say my Roman nose, it seems to please artistic people. Bows, I've plenty of those with second-hand clothes and nice long hair. I've got those Broadway vampires lashed to the mast. I've got no future, but oh, what a past. I'm Rose of Washington Square. I've certainly got quite a past, don't I? And it wasn't long before the Rose of Washington Square became the Rose of Broadway. Billy Rose's Broadway, that is. Oh yeah, you remember Billy, my third husband? This is where he comes in. Billy, he always believed in me. And a few years later, we were married. It was a different sort of thing than with Nick. Billy and I, we actually had something in common. Our work. I could never talk to Nick about work. Mine or his. I'm flying high, but I've got the feeling I'm falling, falling for nobody else but you. You've caught my eye, and I've got the feeling I'm falling. Show me a ring and I'll jump right through. Billy used to say he wrote this tune about how he felt for me. It certainly was not how I felt about him. I used to travel single-o, we chanced to mingle-o, and now I'm a tingle over you. Hey, Mr. Parson, stand by, for I've got the feeling I'm falling, falling for nobody else but you. Billy, he was a smart man. He saw that the only people around him with any clout were producers. So, he became a producer. And he opened up a music hall bearing his name. And I remember watching him, admiring the sign he had just put up. And a stranger, he comes up to him and asks, "Billy Rose, who's that?" And another stranger answers, "That's Fanny Brice's husband." Funny, Billy used to say he wrote this tune about how he felt in my shadow. You know how many tunes Billy wrote about our marriage? 2. You just heard them both. Oh, I always liked Billy, but I never loved him. Not like Nick. It turned out to be a good thing. He fell in love with the star of his aquacade. A show in a swimming pool, for goodness sake. Eleanor Home, Olympic champion herself. She swam. Swam? Swim? She liked the water. I guess they teach her that in 9th grade. And he married her, after divorcing me, of course. But what could I have done? Nothing. I didn't love him. I'm sure you must have heard the news or read about it in the paper somewhere. It didn't take long for Eleanor to take Billy for all he was worth. Left him high and dry. Billy, he came back to me practically begging me to star in his next show. He walks right in and asks, "Fanny, can you sing in a swimming pool?" Remember lesson 1? Say yes to everything? Well, almost everything. This is the almost everything. Oh, but he needed me. My name on top billing was a guaranteed success. I had brought him so much luck before I could do it again. We were good together, he says. Ha! Always leave him laughing when you say goodbye. Never linger long about or else you're welcome out. When you leave a fellow with a tear-dimmed eye, you can leave him laughing if you try. A man says to me, "You are a lovely woman, Miss Brice." And I says to him, "Oh, don't give me that." And he says to me, "No, Miss Brice, you have beautiful bones." And I says to him, "I guess that's why I've been attracting dogs all my life." When he's giggling, good, you know that it's time to turn and go. Always leave him laughing when you say goodbye. Always leave him laughing when you say goodbye. Bye-bye. A swimming pool? Really? After that, I decided to throw in the towel with Billy. I'm going to share a little something with you. I think you've earned it. I never liked the men I loved, and never loved the men I liked. But if I didn't have the barber, oh yeah, you remember him, the schmuck? Well, I wouldn't have had this great haircut. And if I didn't have Nick, I wouldn't have had my 2 wonderful kids, Francis and William. And if I didn't have Billy, I wouldn't have had the most revered character of my career, Baby Schnooks. I created this little girl, about 7 years old, in a skit in Billy's Broadway show, Sweet and Low, called her Babykins. The audience went crazy over her. Eventually, Babykins became Baby Schnooks. She brought me so much joy. What's in the books, Daddy? Tells about my forefathers. You had forefathers? Certainly. Did you have four mothers, too? London Bridge is falling down, for Daddy! Yes, Snooks? Who is London? Oh, it's not the name of a man, it's the name of a city. Then why do his britches keep falling down? I'll let you in on a little secret. When I would play her, for 20 minutes or so, I, as Fanny, ceased to exist. Everybody would tell me, Flo, Nick, Irv, you are not entitled to be serious. You're a clown. They only want you to make them laugh, Fanny. Make them laugh. Make them laugh, Fanny. Make them laugh. Everybody in the town knows in your heart you're just a clown. So make them laugh, Fanny. Make them. I knew there was more to me than that. Look at my life. Divorce. 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 Criminal dealings with Nick. Money laundering with Nick. Nick. My life wasn't exactly full of laughter. Nick, he used to tell me that it was his brushes with the law that brought me fame and fortune. Oh yeah, can you believe it? I'm going to set the record straight. Just like I said in court. All those illegal dealings, the Wall Street heist, everything and anything that Nick did that made news. To this day, I still don't believe he did it. Call me crazy, but no matter where I went or what I did, I always loved him. And when I was with him, I truly thought that I could change him. I thought I could make him a right guy, just like I could make an audience laugh or cry. But I've learned, you are born whatever you are. I'm a broad. Nothing that happened to me would change that. And Nick, he did come back to me with promises of fidelity. But I knew he wouldn't change no matter what I said or did. And I had to let him go. But I didn't have to let him go far. He moved in with my brother. Yeah, can you believe it? Nick was always there, right on the edge of my life. Listen, there is one thing that I've learned, is that I made most things happen for me. And if they were good, I worked to get them. If they were bad, well, I worked just as hard for that. But I am not sorry. And I will tell anyone that, and that is the truth. I lived the way I wanted to live. And I never did what people said I should do or advised me to do. With one exception. Flo, he came to my dressing room one night. He says, Fanny, I have a new song for you. I had it translated from French. Well, then it's not exactly a new song, is it, Flo? Flo, this isn't a comedy song. It's not even a specialty song. Yes, Fanny, but no one can sing it better than you. Oh, Come on, Flo, there were a million people who could sing this tune. Yes, Fanny, but no one like you. Flo was right. It cost me a lot, but there's one thing that I've got. It's my man. Cold and wet, died of bet, but all that I soon forget with my man. He's not much for looks, and no hero out of books is my man. 2 or 3 girls is he that he likes as well as me, but I love him. I don't know why I should. He isn't good, he isn't true, he beats me too. What can I do? Oh, my man, I love him so, he'll never know. All my life is just despair, but I don't care. When he takes me in his arms, the world is bright. All right. What's the difference if I say, oh, go away, when I know I'll come back on my knees someday? For whatever my man is, I am his forevermore. When he takes me in his arms, the world is bright. All right, what's the difference if I say, oh, go away, when I know I'll come back on my knees someday? For whatever my man is, I am his forevermore. I know he's around when the sky and the ground started ringing. I know when he's near by the thunder I hear in advance. His words and his words alone are the words that can start my heart singing. And his is the only music that makes me dance. He'll sleep and he'll rise in the light of 2 eyes that adore him. Bore him it might, but he won't leave my sight. For at last, in every way, every day, I need less of myself and need more him, more him. 'Cause his is the only music that makes me dance. 'Cause his is the only music that makes me Fanny Brice became the highest grossing torch singer comedian of her time. And out of all the songs she sang, My Man became her biggest grossing hit. A serious song of all things. Her voice went national on the radio for over 25 years as Baby Schnucks. And she died at the age of 59 from a stroke. Yeah. Her legacy continued on. Her daughter Frances married Ray Stark, a budding producer who sought to honor her legacy by writing a musical about her life. Funny Girl. It was through Funny Girl that I was first introduced to Miss Brice. Oh, I was 15, 16 years old at the time. And I remember, my teacher saying, he said, "You have this uncanny resemblance to Fanny Brice." Well, I took that with a grain of salt. But what I realized over time was that this woman had everything that I needed. An ability to take control, say what you want, not be afraid. I guess you could say I developed a sort of kinship with her. Over the years, in revealing her to my audience, strangely and oddly enough, helped me to reveal a piece of myself. I became more honest, more confident, more brassy, and as Fanny and Irv would be proud of, full of chutzpah. I'm very honored to be able to continue her legacy. I guess you could say we need each other. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. For children needing other children, and yet letting our grown-up pride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. They're the luckiest people in the world. With one person, one very special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you are half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people. People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. I'll march my band out. I'll beat my drum. And if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it, but whether I'm the rose of sheer perfection or freckled on the nose of nice confection, the cinder or the shiny apple of its eye, I gotta fly once, I gotta try once, only can die once, right, sir? Oh, love is juicy, juicy, and you see, I gotta have my bite, sir. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I've simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Don't bring around a cloud rain on my parade. I'm gonna live and live now. Get what I want, I know how. One roll for the whole shebang. One throw, that bell will go clang. Eye on the target and wham. One shot, one gunshot and bam. Hey, Mr. Arnstein, here I am. I'll march my band out. I'll beat my drum. And if I'm fanned out, your turn at bat, sir. At least I didn't fake it, hat, sir. I guess I didn't make it. Get ready for me, love, 'cause I'm a comer. I've simply gotta march, my heart's a drummer. Nobody, no, nobody is gonna rain on my parade. Everybody. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, everybody, for coming, spending the evening with us. I hope that you will take a piece of Fanny home with you, whether it's a memory or a song or even one of the fabulous songs from Funny Girl. And I'm going to end the evening with one of my favorite Fanny tunes, which I'm sure you'll all be familiar with. Take your share of trouble, face it, and don't complain. If you want the rainbow, you must have the rain. Happiness comes double after a little pain. If you want the rainbow, you must have the rain. What if your love affair should break up, as they sometimes will, when you kiss and make up? Oh, what a thrill! Sadness ends in gladness, showers are not in vain. If you want the rainbow, you must have the rain. If you want the rainbow, you must have the rain. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a lovely evening.